and welcome to today's edition of Tosin's Corner. Here we discuss a lot of things. We discuss security, we discuss change management, we discuss a lot of things. And today I would like to talk about the long queues at our filling stations, the long queues at the banks. Is there anything practically you want to do these days that you're not going to, be meeting a lot of people that you will have to queue to get those things done? So to be talking about these and more is a friend of mine in the studio. Her name is Chimley. So Chimley, thank you for coming on Tosin's Corner today.
Me.
You've been working behind the scenes, and of the
Seated on the golden chair.
All right, so this is rather, it's a very serious issue.
Yes.
A lot of us are not finding it funny. Again, it cut across. It affects, the middle class, the low class, the high class. Everybody is practically bearing, the brunt. You go to the P.O.S point, you go to the bank, you go to the filling station, you have to just struggle. Yesterday being 7th of March 2023, I spent 7 hours. That's the longest I've ever spent at the filling station before I could buy fuel yesterday. So this queue, this madness, I'll call it madness because this madness, this queue of a thing that anything you want to do, you must, you must go through a very long and tedious process.
Yes.
How has it been with you? How have you been faring?
It has been terrible. It has been really terrible. Because, you're talking about POS. Would you even see cash at the POS? That's the first question. Because most POS people, they don't have cash. When you come in there, it's either you're transferring to somebody or you're doing something else. If you see anyone that has cash, the fees they charge you almost 50%. Okay, they charge you 40%. I went to the market, I think 2 weeks ago, and I wanted to withdraw some money. I had some cash, but I was doing more of transfer because I was buying a lot of things, some gadgets. So I needed cash because of transportation to get to somewhere. Bolt was super expensive, Uber was super expensive, and it was during the day, rush hour and everything. So I saw somebody, people were already around her. I saw she had cash. I said, "Hi, please, I would like to withdraw 5,000 naira." And she said it's 1,000, 1,500. I was like, "I'm sorry."
So at the end of the day, you have just that 5,000 naira. You'll be spending.
Exactly.
Going home with just 3,500.
Exactly. So imagine the transportation cost.
And you ask yourself, how do they get the cash?
Thank you. So when I got reports that there were people who were charging 2,000 naira for 5,000 naira. So where do they get this cash? I don't know. Some say they buy it. Some say they have to queue in the bank for days before they are able to access cash. Some say that the banks actually just give 5,000 naira or 3,000 naira to each customer when they get into the bank to withdraw. You see people sleeping at the ATM.
Exactly. We have some pictures,
Yes.
The kind of untold hardship that people are passing through.
Exactly.
And it's not like they are begging for money. They just want to collect their money, their hard-earned money. And it's crazy what you have to go through.
It is.
How have you been coping when you have to go to work and all that? How do you get cash? And have you been able to meet up? Because a lot of people these days, except if you have a very understanding boss, a lot of people these days are having challenges, with their bosses because of the time they have to get to work because of the time they have to go out to go and source for fund. Now you're not even talking about feeding, you're not even talking about any other things, you're just talking about let me go to where I earn my daily living, and it's difficult. So how have you been coping?
Well, luckily for me, I don't have the 9 to 5 that I'll have to leave very early and come back later in the evening. My work, the time varies. And then sometimes I get to work from home. The times that I have to go to work, during the day. I keep thinking, I'm like, how do I do this? How do I do this? I go to the woman who has a shop in my street, give me cash. If she has, she gives me. Now, if I have like an early morning appointment to meet up, I go with a neighbor that will drop me halfway and then probably take bolt from that place.
God bless that neighbor of yours. And let me also use this opportunity to also appeal to car owners to please help people. I know that the way times are changing, but even with that, try. People need help. Look around you. If it's food you can give, if it is a ride you can offer somebody, please. The times are hard, and you'll be saving a soul if you can render any of this.
Exactly.
So talking about queue at the filling station and everything, and we have a new president now. So the challenges you think are before the new president of Nigeria?
There is a lot of challenges.
Yeah, the utmost one, at least name 3, 4.
This issue of cash circulation is a huge challenge. Now we don't know what to follow. Now there's a policy that new currency was supposed to limit bribery and all of that during the election period.
Not buying.
Exactly. And now we are getting back the old currency that people were giving a time.
That is going to be in circulation till December, end of this year.
Till the end of December.
And so people you were mentioning earlier on that people are
don't
skeptical
know. Exactly. About collecting. Because the issue is going back and forth. I mean, this person is saying, oh, we keep the cash in circulation. The court is saying, no, the cash should not be in circulation. Like, everybody's just going back and forth. Back and forth in the sense that we don't even know who to follow at this moment. Now, ATM machines are dispensing the old currencies. The women in the market, they've not heard that policy that is saying, go back to the old notes. What they know is CBN does not collect old notes. So now everybody is skeptical, everybody is scared. Even when the 200 naira, when they let the 200 naira circulation, it was hard for a lot of people to take it back to say, are you sure? Is this what they said? Are you sure I can take it?
The other day I was also at the supermarket, this queue of a thing is everywhere. When you are at the supermarket at the pay point you see a long queue. You have to, and many people, anyways, I would say that this period, owners of supermarket are really cashing out because a lot of people that will ordinarily not patronize those people will have to go there. The other time I had to buy tomatoes there. If I go to the Maraba market or if I go to Gariki market, I know how much I will buy a basket of tomato, but I know how much I bought something that was not even up to a quarter of a basket.
It's been a hassle. It's been
today's episode of Tosin's Corner, we're just ranting. I am just here to rant because I know that we will be speaking the minds of many Nigerians. The other day I went to Karishi and I saw tomatoes. Okay, cheap, fine. I bought tomatoes. I only had 1,000 naira cash on me, and then a friend of mine was like, okay, I'll give you 500 naira. Then I bought tomato and tatashe and then pepper. And if you do cook, that without pepper in your tomato and tatashe, you are just
playing.
You're playing. You've not started, And I had to beg the woman and say, if I buy this, please, you dash me pepper. People are practically, turning into beggars.
I'm telling you.
Begging for what to eat, begging for food, begging for a ride, which ordinarily is not like they can't afford them. They can afford them. It's just based on some bad policies of the government that is making people, to go through this. And I don't think the government is feeling or bearing this brunt.
I don't think so.
Because it is so crazy. Do you know sometimes, I'm not exaggerating, sometimes on my own, maybe I'm driving or I'm in my room, I'll just start crying because, looking at how bad, the state of the nation, the state of the economy.
Every day. One of the persons that I normally buy tomatoes from, the man, he told me, once I see him, I already know it's I even saved his account number, so it's not a problem. So we were talking and he was talking about the price of tomatoes now. He said, the last time, that when he went to the market, that normally he used to buy 10,000 for for a bag or a basket.
A basket, yeah.
Now that it's 15,000. And if you do not have cash, it's 17,000.
Yes.
So of course, come to him and we transfer. So he doesn't have cash to buy, so he has to buy more expensive. So when he comes, he has to sell more expensive because that's what he's buying.
And another thing we need to discuss here that we need to rant about, because I don't even know whether this is an interview or whether this is ranting, but whatever it is, please, our viewers, just take it today, because I just want to pour out my mind, you know, and I know that, you know, maybe I will get a belief, you understand? There will be some sort of a suffer somewhere if by the time I finish ranting, because it's something. Imagine you're just sitting down, just crying, you know, like what is the problem? Now let's go to the kind of they say Nigerians, we are the problems of ourselves. A lot of people see this as an opportunity to cash out. Look at the times of COVID-19 too. A lot of people, they made use of the opportunity to make money and all that, to make more money and all that. So what is your take about the kind of, the way we treat ourselves, like the way we take advantage of ourselves, the way we take advantage of situation? Like you have to pay 1,500 to withdraw 5,000, and you don't even know whether that is the person's last card. So what is your take on that? How should everything be business? Let me put the question that way.
See, in Nigeria, this question you asked is a statement. Everything in Nigeria is business. Everything in Nigeria is business. We take advantage of situations a lot. That's why sometimes when people say Nigerians are naturally not good people, sometimes I agree, sometimes I disagree, because there are really a lot of good people. Like today, I had somebody pay my transport fare.
I thought you were not going to mention
No,
it.
there is no way I won't mention it. Somebody paid my transport fare out of nowhere. I was still telling the driver, sir, please, somebody is going to wait for me at this junction. Because that fare of 200 naira on the transport app is over 2,000
on both.
Exactly. I stood there. I was like, oh my
God. That's a lot.
Because I was thinking about it. If it was something like 1,000 naira, I said, let me just go. But 2,000 naira, I was like, I'm sorry, what? I checked Uber, it was 2,003. I was like, okay, wow. What I was calculating was, is there a way I could walk to somewhere? Because personally, I'm that kind of person that I don't know how to ask.
You're not talking about this work, eh? A lot of people these days trek miles.
Exactly.
Trek a distance, a good distance to get to their place of work. Because if today you have story to tell your boss, sorry, tomorrow, I can't make it. Are you the only one? The boss will ask you, and that the boss's job does not have to suffer too.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. So he said, no, don't worry, I'll pay. I was like, I'm sorry, sir. He said, yeah, I'm going to pay. I was like, thank you very much. I kept greeting him.
So we need that. We need to do that to one another more, especially at this time.
Yes.
Especially at this time.
Because
so if you're in a
all those
position
drivers
to help
agree.
out, please don't hesitate to help that person.
Don't hesitate, because you don't know what you'll be saving the person
So
from.
lastly, so it's another trend now. You have to painstakingly queue at the filling station, and when it gets to your point, because of network and because they don't also, the fuel attendants, they are not sure of if you do transfer to them, either it will go or not, even if they use your P.O.S, your card rather, but either it will go or not. So you have to go and join another queue to pay. Which way? Nigeria. Which way? People are passing through a lot. We are passing, and this has nothing to do with color, your tribe, whether your religion or your party affiliations. We are all feeling it.
Yes.
So I think, Chimele, thank you for joining me. I brought Chimele so that I can also use the opportunity to rant, because I just want to use this opportunity to tell you that please and please hang in there. This is just a phase. The Bible says, I'm not a pastor, that the Bible says, these two shall pass. So be rest assured that these two will definitely pass, and we will all be fine, and everything will be okay. And help the next person, to you, as I'm going to be helping Donald behind the camera, not helping him, but just to be, yeah, I'm going to be helping him, escort him. Is it, okay, the word escort is not right now. It's see him off to the junction. I helped him, accompany him to the junction. So that's my own little way of helping Donald. Don't mind me, I'm just trying to, play it down a little. So thank you so much for watching. This is actually that. We have finished Latin. Jimmy, carry your bag. I'm going home.
Wow, just like that.